What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. Very happy to be wearing this hat today. Madden 22 reveal is here. Talked about the reveal. There's another video on my channel about scouting. Scouting is a brand new overhaul that is coming to Madden franchise mode in September. It's not coming at launch, but I was able to, obviously pause videos and stuff like that and get some screen caps from the reveal, talk about it, make some assumptions, have some fun with it. And I think another feature that's worth talking about is, for this video anyways, it's not going to be the M factors. It's not going to be them using next-gen stats to make the AI play as a unique experience and play as to real life as they possibly can, which is easily, in my opinion, like S-tier improvement. But I want to talk about staff management. I mean, we saw a couple months ago, Sean Grady said something about Madden, and in the background on his monitor, we saw staff management. So then the speculation started coming up. They're like, oh my God, they're adding coaching carousel. They're adding offensive and defensive coordinators, all these stuff. And we finally found in the reveal trailer that it looks pretty good. And I will say, I kind of want to get the negative out of the way. While it is an incredibly frustrating Madden trope to say that what they are adding to a game is going to be a building block for future years, but I kind of feel like that is going to be the case here. And it's speculative because we don't know for sure. I haven't been able to get an answer yet. Whether or not you're going to be able to start as an offensive or defensive coordinator and work your way up, very similar to NCAA 14, which I think ultimately is what people wanted. But I think given how robust, at face value at least, the coaching trees, the talent, the upgrades, all the different abilities that you can get for your coaches, like maybe it was just too much for them to do all of these things into one game. And I think that if these coaching trees are as robust, and it does take as long to upgrade and level them up as at least it appears to be, yeah, it kind of makes sense that maybe they're, this is a big leap from Madden 21 to Madden 22. And as long as this transition and emphasis on franchise mode, because apparently the data backs it up. You could just see in the reveal trailer, they're saying like 80% of the games played in Madden 21 were user versus CPU. It wasn't head-to-head, I don't really know how they would classify Ultimate Team into that, because there is probably a lot of user versus CPU and Ultimate Team as well. But generally, the data is kind of skewing towards they have to acknowledge franchise mode on top of the backlash and all that stuff. So as long as this is kind of the direction that Madden as a sports title is going, which is smart, which is very smart, especially because if 2K is going to be coming around and they're going to be getting the arcade market, sure, they got the yard there. But I'm going to assume that 2K, if they can only do arcade, they're probably going to end up doing arcade better than Madden. That's just because all their eggs are in that one basket. And it's going to be very smart for Madden to take the approach of like, well, let's make our franchise top-notch. Let's take pride in our gameplay and our franchise. That's where we're going to have our edge. And so far, for everything from that initial reveal, looks like we're finally getting the TLC for franchise mode that we want, even though it may not, for this video, in regards to coaching staffs, be in, a true and traditional coaching carousel, but I definitely hope that is on the docket for Madden 23. So looking at what we do know, coaching staffs are made up of head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. You have something called player personnel, so kind of act like that's your general manager. Each coach has an RPG-esque talent tree, kind of like the NCAA 14 games, where you can spend staff points to upgrade and build your dream coaching staff whatever way you want, and you achieve these tokens, these spending points by just winning games, playing games, achieving goals. So it kind of ties all that in, because let's be completely honest, outside of like little squirts of XP that you've got for completing goals in your previous Madden franchises for your players, and every now and again you'd be able to go and upgrade some of your head coaching XP to get, extra scouting points or punter retirement bonus. Like all these things that just make no sense. It wasn't fleshed out, it was copy and paste. This year, looking at these trees, man, looks like a whole lot of depth. Right now, obviously you can't see what each individual spot and all these different attributes are in these coaching trees. But what you can see is that there's a lot. There's a lot of them, and anytime there's a lot of something, I'm usually going to be on board. Because you saw one of these little screen caps here, it's like, if whatever web that you decide to go on that skill tree, you cannot go to the corresponding one. You have to make that commitment, that fork in the road. You have to decide kind of what kind of specialty do you want your coaching staff to have? So you can go one direction where it's like, I want my guys to be good athletes. Or you can go the other direction, and I'm just making a guess here. I'm just trying to explain it. One direction will be, all my guys are going to get boosts to their speed, strength, acceleration, agility. Or I can go down this other skill tree, and they're going to focus on awareness. They're going to focus on maybe more so the technical side of things, like route running and catching traffic, just all those different things. That'd be like the simplest layman's terms for how this thing is going to work, which is cool. Because, I don't think it would negatively affect the feature if you could just straight up buy every single thing. Because I guess, why not? Bill Belichick probably, once you go down one skill tree and get to the very bottom, you're probably going to be like, all right, let's start working on the next one. And that still could be the case. Again, we're speculative. We're making assumptions from what information we are able to get from the reveal trailer. But I still think ultimately, the fact that you have to make decisions, like I can kind of compare it. I'm not a big Borderlands guy, but I did beat the game, and it kind of reminds me of Borderlands. Borderlands, you had skill trees, but there's only so many points you could spend, and you had to go different builds, right? And that makes sense for people who actually played Borderlands, but like Borderlands, you have 50 abilities, and ultimately you can only end up getting 30. So you had to figure out what 30 abilities worked best with what you're trying to do. And if that's kind of going to be the direction they're going with the staff management in Madden 22, more power to them. I like the ability of not having everything handed to you. I think that has been long a complaint from not just franchise, but like generally anything Madden has done. Face of the franchise, they don't punish people enough. They don't make things hard enough. They try to make everything so entry level and participation trophy, and we want a little resistance. We want a little bit of difficulty. And if you end up making a bad decision in your coaching tree and you can't go back, that could get a little frustrating, but that's also life. If you're someone that committed your life, like all these people, and they go to school, they committed their life to getting an art degree. You spend 4 years. You're not going to get those 4 years back when you realize you can't get a job, when you graduate from university, You're going to have to go back and start yourself all over again. And if that's going to be as brutally real and honest that your franchise is going to be, if you start a head coach and you absolutely screw it up, you don't like any of the direction that you're going, so, you get punished. And I feel like that is something that Madden's been missing. That little bit of like, man, I screwed up. I'm going to have to live with it. Going to have to find a way to endure. Going to have to find a way to adjust. But I say all that, and it still could end up being you can upgrade any different skill tree that you want. And as you look at your offensive and defensive coordinators, you get a little sneak peek. You get stuff like injury prevention. Looks like there's a film study. There's different attribute use. There's more than 60 upgrades available, and they are planning to release more post-launch. So the fact that they're talking about releasing more scenarios in franchise mode post-launch, they're going to be releasing more abilities for your coaching trees post-launch. They're going to be adding scouting post-launch. And who knows, they're going to be adding more stuff to the scouting that we already know. I don't even want to say this is by design, but maybe it is. I mean, how long has the franchise community been complaining that Madden Ultimate Team gets these updates every single month? When there was a title update, it used to skew so heavy towards Ultimate Team, but the reality was like, well, what big updates can we get continuously to franchise mode that's really outside of like ratings updates, and maybe you'd always get different equipment updates and stuff like that, but for the most part, like, you're kind of handicapped. Franchise is franchise. So now they're having this little bit of content drip to franchise mode. You get scouting in September, and then October we'll have 25 new scenarios, and maybe a new skill tree or two for your offensive and defensive coordinators, or a couple new abilities here or there. I think that I wouldn't be shocked, I'll say that, to say that maybe how they are releasing additional franchise mode content throughout the life cycle that we're going to get. We saw it, obviously it started in Madden 21, and we're going to see throughout Madden 22. It could be by design, so that as they give these updates throughout the year, franchise mode is still getting some love. And there's two sides to that. One is just, it's a painful price for the game. Let's have everything ready to go at launch. Or maybe it's, that cake looks so good, you're going to end up eating it all at once and you're going to feel sick, versus just spacing it out. And obviously probably don't eat a full cake, but if you ate that cake over, 7 days, you're probably going to be a little bit better on the other end of it. So maybe that's kind of how they're viewing it, but they don't want everything at once in franchise mode. They're going to spread it out just a little bit, like DLC and like Call of Duty and all these other games. But I don't know. That's just, again, me just kind of making an assumption, trying to make sense of it. And ultimately, to wrap this one up, man, like, again, I'm not a big guy that likes to just, hey, there are YouTubers that will take a screenshot and make 40 goddamn videos about it, and let's just wait and see what happens. But I think given the love that franchise mode has got from this 22 reveal trailer, it was worth talking about staff management here, because even just to get your guys' feedback in the comment section below, so I can kind of curate certain things that may need to get asked or may not need to get asked. And I also broke down the scouting in a separate video, and ultimately, fellas, I do want to get your guys' vibe. How are you feeling right now about Madden 22? You think it's going to be in a great spot? Think this is going to be the best, most hyped up, God, this Madden looks like a dream Madden of all time? Or are you still underwhelmed? Are you still, I think it's completely valid to be in a believe it when I see it stage. All these things look great on paper, but did they execute it well? And I think that's I'm kind of on that side a little bit, but it's been a rough couple years, man. COVID, all this stuff, shutting things down. We need a win. Everyone needs a win right now. And it's looking like Madden 22 for franchise mode, at least in particular, on paper, looks like a big time win. So let me know in the comment section below how you guys are feeling about that. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are going all in. I honestly think, because of how genuinely hyped I am for franchise, I think this is gonna be the hardest year for me. I'm going, like, in a good way. I'm gonna be going so hard. I want it so bad. Here at Madden 22. Hop on now, man. We're getting close to 150,000. I think we're like 3-ish thousand subscribers. Hop on now, because once the Madden 22 train starts, we ain't stopping, baby. We ain't stopping until we get to the top. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all these things. Smash that like button. Helps with the old YouTube algorithm. It's free. It's all I look for in return. Subscribe if it's your first time stopping by. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and peace out.